This is Fearless Heart.
We're back with Steve Sapato, and we're discussing what are the traits that narcissists seek in victims. We're going to discuss things deeply about why the narcissist does what he does and why the victim is the one that ends up in pain. But then we can recover. We can make our lives better, but we need to love ourselves. And we're going to talk more about self-love. And you are listening to Fearless Heart.
Are you suffering from a toxic relationship? Is the toxicity wearing you down and keeping you from going after your passion and purpose in life? Welcome to Fearless Heart. Get your power back. Learn to let go and let God. Thank you for joining Fearless Heart Podcast. And now, here's your host, actress, author, entrepreneur, Nadia Sahari.
And here is relationship coach Steve Sapato.
We all need to love ourselves, right? Isn't that what's important, Nadia?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's really critical that we understand that self-love, losing your self-love will do.
Yes.
It creates a vacuum, it creates a void, and we end up having a very big weakness there.
Yes.
It's all about how do you create, what happens when you create a very loving, warm, caring individual? You have a healthy individual. When we're out of harmony, a lot of people say out of balance. I like harmony better.
Yes.
Because when you're out of harmony with who you are, then other things happen. You get sickness, you get illness, you get all kinds of things mixed up. And it is when you try so hard to please somebody else.
Yes.
You stop caring enough about yourself. You think, I have to care about that person. I have to give them this so that they feel my love, so that they understand how much I love them. And the answer is no. When we talk about self-love, if Nadia and I were in love, we would know every day just by looking at each other that we love and care about each other. We would know by the touches. We would know by the comments. And it's so vital for people to understand, Nadia, that self-love is critical to your growth and your own self-health. And so when somebody else tries to pull that out of you and tries to whack you out of balance, you have to step back. And that's when we talk about getting your friends involved. Your friends think you're selfish, because odds are the narcissist doesn't have any friends. And you get to turn to your friends and say, hey, am I really this selfish? And ask the questions. I have a whole lesson that I teach called the QL method, which is all about asking and listening to the answers, then asking some more. And that's what we have to do as lovers, as friends, as all this stuff comes together for relationship, is make sure you ask before you give yourself away, right?
Oh, man, you're so true. So right. My friends, my husbands, my past husbands, I didn't date very much in life, but I married everybody I dated, except one. But
not you're a real beautiful woman, so that's interesting. But that also says a lot about us, doesn't it? I married everybody I dated. That's fascinating.
Well, because I didn't want to live with them, and they wanted to get married to me. They wanted to marry me, so they fell in love with me, and I loved them. But
you're one of them. Are you
I'm
one of them?
I'm one of them.
Capture our hearts, our minds, our spirits. We're like, well, I gotta marry this woman. Boy, that's fascinating.
Do you know why? Well, first of all, of course, appearance is what a man sees. He likes what he sees. And all my life, and this is the honest truth, God is my witness, everybody said, you have the biggest heart I've ever seen. And because I was always there for everybody. My mother, I got it from her. And I believe in helping people. I believe if I have the means to help somebody, I do. And that's what I did with my narc. I had the means, I helped him, and like you said, the wounded bird.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
Yes.
And so that's really important for the people listening to understand, is that self-care, taking care of yourself first, is the most important part. Not being selfish in what you do, but there are times to be selfish. If you went out and bought my book right now, there were times I tell people, if you're single and reading my book, The 20, Now is the time to be selfish so that you can look at people you date. If somebody falls in love with you instantly, wow, I'm in love with you in the first 2, 3, 4 weeks, and they're not a fit for you, you have to be able to be selfish enough to save both of you. Because if you got into that relationship and it's not meant to be that relationship, you'll be unhappy and you'll make them unhappy eventually. And so it's
Yes.
really important
Yes.
that you understand that being selfish while you're single means something simple like this isn't working out, and you have to be selfish enough to tell them it's not for us.
Yes.
Boom, we're going out. You can't keep giving until you find yourself trapped.
Yes.
And we've all done that. We've all been in
Yes.
relationships. The first time I got married was I trapped myself. Nobody else did it because it's my fault. But I got married 6, 7 months after I met this person, just because I said, "Hey, this is the right thing to do," and it wasn't. It was like all my friends were getting married. This was happening. That was happening. And if I'd have been selfish at that point in time, I would have looked at her and said, "You know what? This isn't for us. And I'm sorry I'm going to break your heart, but I'm moving on." And I didn't.
Yes.
So when she first said, "I love you," it was like, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess I love you. And people will put it on you. They'll say, "Well, do you love me?" And what are they supposed to say? How can they say it with a nice way if they don't, without breaking your heart?
Yes.
And that's exactly it. When they say, "Well, don't you love me?" And the answer is, well, yeah, I just wasn't quite ready to say it yet. Like maybe I never would have said it, right? but it is how we trap ourselves with not wanting to be selfish. So there are moments in your life when you need to be selfish, but overall, self-love, containing yourself, and then loving that other person with all of your heart and soul is all part of what we do. And that's what's going to create a wonderful, loving one. Like I always tell people, friendship on fire down the road.
Yes.
Where you've got somebody who's not only your best friend, but also your lover.
And it has to be mutual. You both have to be loving and both be in love with each other and showing the love, not just using words. And
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's not, like you say, it's not just words. A lot of
Yes.
times, matter of fact, I just said that to somebody about 2 months ago. And I said, you know what, you tell this person all the time, "I love you, I love you, I love you." And then you don't show it in any way. Matter of fact, what they really showed was disrespect.
Yes.
And so while the one person was living on the "I love you" words, they were being so disrespected, they were just torn. Like, what do I do? How do I deal with this?
Yes.
And it was a struggle. It is a struggle to figure out when you're dealing with somebody who has those narcissistic tendency, which is all about feed me, feed me. Go back to that. There was a movie out, where the plant said, "Feed me, feed me," and that's what these people are. All they want you to do is tell them how wonderful they are and how great they are and how important they are and
Yes.
how fabulous people, right?
Yes, and they're threatened by you because you're smarter than them and more creative, and you're a hard worker, and that's what attracted them. But they're jealous, and they try to suck that out of you, and they try to lower you to their standards where you can't even function.
Yes, that's exactly right. And that's where they want you. Because once they get you to that place, then they control you.
Yes.
They have complete control over you. And that's a rugged place to be. I mean, I see that all the time. I'll look at people that I meet and I'll go, why would they allow themselves to be treated that way?
Yes.
And of course, you know the answer, but you can't help them. They didn't ask for help, so I'm not going to reach in and go, "Hey," So you just wander on. You can't certainly let them in your life because it will bother you too.
I think these narcissists came from outer space. I think they're aliens. They have no heart, no soul, no empathy, no compassion, no sympathy. It's beyond my comprehension to see a human being like this. I never, ever thought that I would be involved with somebody that's so not there. I mean, just not there, just a body and no brain and no heart and just talking, just a talking head. And most of the time, it's the wrong head that they're using, acting like they know everything, but they really know nothing.
That's a struggle at that point in time too, because they will tell you they know all this stuff.
Yes.
They will hold your attention and tell you how good they are. They will tell you how smart they are. They will tell you how wrong you are.
Yes.
They will tell you why you're wrong, and they will build lives and careers on
Yes.
holding you down and telling why you don't compare and why you need them
Yes.
to make yourself happy. And
Yes.
even what's funny is you're even unhappier, but they teach you that you're happy with them even while you're unhappy.
I know. It's true. My narc used to say, I'm going to do everything and make sure that you never throw me out because you're going to need me to do everything.
Yeah.
And I said, what? I said, the things that you do, I can hire people to do.
But remember this, most people do not understand love. Most people in America today, I mean, I've been making a living on this for about 30 years, which is when we talk to people, you ask them, what is love? And they'll say, well, it's this. And you go, that's your definition of love. And they go, no, that's what love is. You go, no, you don't understand. My definition of love is this. Your definition is that. Their definition is this. And we haven't sat down and studied. How many times has anybody you know gone to a webinar, a seminar, a workshop to study or learn about love, especially self-love, but love in general, right? Yes. How many people do you know actually go to a workshop besides a church workshop, let's say, where they actually sit and spend 2 or 3 days learning about love and how to communicate with your partner, how to share with your partner, what's important to be, from to with your partner. And so many people go, I already know how to love. Really? Where did you learn it? Because I don't know about yours, but my parents loved each other tremendously, but they didn't love each other the way my wife and I love each other now.
That's
and
right.
If I'd have learned just their method of loving each other, I would be miserable today.
Oh, yes. So, our parents were miserable. They stayed in misery. People live lives in desperation, and our parents stayed in it for years. And today, the older people in their 80s, most of them are miserable, and they don't love each other, and they just ignore each other, and they're in separate rooms all the time, and they're just waiting to fade away. And, they're just waiting to die. That's not the love I want. I want to be in love forever till the last breath.
Yes, that's exactly right. And, some people live happily ever after, but for the most part, most of us do not. It takes, how many times have you been married, Nadia?
Want to know how many times I've been married? Tune in to episode 7, and we'll see how many times. And Steve Sapato will be back, and we have an exciting show. We have more coming, and I hope you're enjoying this. And the love verse for today is Romans 8:28. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. Isn't that beautiful? And did I tell you that this is Fearless Heart? Power, passion, purpose. That's you. Change your mind, change your life. God bless you. Good night.
Thank you for tuning in to Fearless Heart with Nadia and her guests. Be sure to download the Nadia Sahari app at the App Store. For more info, episodes, and connections, go to our website, thenadiasaharishow.com. Share episodes with your family and friends. Follow the show on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and Instagram. Are you ready to step out of the darkness and into the light? Are you ready to choose you? Be fearless. You have the power, the passion, and the purpose. Change your mind. Change your life. Fearless Heart. It's all about you. Relationship coach Gina Gardner is a best-selling author, motivational speaker, empowerment and relationship coach. If you are a businesswoman who's overwhelmed and tired of going through one disastrous relationship after another, and you've suffered from childhood abuse, it's time to take care of you. You can get the best out of your life. Email Gina Gardner now at gina@genuinely-you.com. Her website is www.genuinely-u.com. Mention Fearless Heart with Nadia Sahari. Contact Gina Gardner now.